own thing on the side while I'm preparing us. A few things I always love to talk about. The Yoruba nation is still ongoing. Uh, Adukwe Fumba Bakitoye, it came out yesterday. He actually re-emphasized that I think I took the note of what Babakitoye said yesterday. We are in this struggle to win. So to batini and lokan, it doesn't matter what everybody is saying. It doesn't matter what people are saying. We are in this to win. So if anybody is telling you, wọ́n parọ́ fún wọn ní Yorùbá nation ní wáyé, wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ fún Tinubu ní Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ gan tẹ́ bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún ṣé kò ní kúrò lórí oyè. Tinubu has just maximum 8 years, to run the show. Nobody knows where Tinubu is, but information says that Tinubu left New York to France. I'm sure good morning to everyone. But again, I say the way I say it. I don't give a toss. Whoever or because at the end of the day, seriously. So, and at the end of the day, and I think, this generation must be very, very angry because what you have done is you have become part of the criminal, situation of Nigeria. Èmi ò tí pé 50 years old. So gbogbo tèmi ń sọ yìí, ó yẹ kí ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà, ó yẹ kẹ́ mọ̀jú èmi lọ. So kí ló wá dé tí ẹ̀ ń parọ́ tí ẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe the needful? Kò ṣe pé ẹ mọ̀ náà, ẹ wà wẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ tó ń lọ náà. Ẹ mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ò ṣiṣẹ́, gbogbo yín lẹ mọ̀ náà. A ní láti ṣe máa sọ fún yín, ṣèbí inú Nàìjíríà lọ bí gbogbo wa sí. Ṣé mi ni mo ṣe máa sọ fún bàbá 50 years old pé Nàìjíríà ò ṣiṣẹ́? You know that. But for whatever reason, you all kept quiet. As this kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹni gbogbo bí tó wà. Ọlọ́run máa bá ń dúró tiẹ̀. Bí o ti ṣe ń ṣe lọ́tún lósì fún gbogbo àwọn ti Jẹ̀bú Òde, àwọn ọ̀ṣàlẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀bú á dúró tiẹ̀, wọ́n ní fi ẹ́ sílẹ̀. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tẹ́ ń ṣe wàhálà, tẹ́ ń support àwọn family yín nílé, that should not be our responsibility. But at the end of the day, it seems that àwọn tó wà nílé, àwa lẹ̀ ń blame. Ó ṣe jẹ́ mi lẹ́ máa blame. Ṣé mi mo bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́ ni? Èmi kọ́ mo bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́ náà. Àwọn tó bà Nàìjíríà jẹ́, you should go and deal with them. All this bomb bastard, like I said, they're bomb bastard. As far as I'm concerned, Eshiwa is 60. Nigeria itself is 60-something years old. To bá di Sunday nísìn, ẹ máa tún kó gbàngbàlà jáde. You will say you are celebrating, a bloody nonsense independent. And you want to put the blame on us? You want to put the blame because we are calling for self-determination? You guys are crazy. Why should we be the one? We are not the problem of Nigeria. We did not destroy Nigeria. You cannot pull out any record to say that my generation from my dad, stole out of Nigeria. The people that destroyed Nigeria, some of them are still alive. Some of them, the children of Abacha are enjoying life. All these criminals. But because you come here, because we are the one that you are saying every day, you want to put your anger on us as if we destroy Nigeria. I didn't destroy Nigeria. The people that destroy Nigeria should be the one you should go and put your anger on. We are saying we should do things and turn things around. That is the reason why we are doing what we are doing. And some of you might not like it. We don't expect you to like it. But the reality is, I was looking at, I do what I called every day on my YouTube. And every time they send, when you do something, they algorithm. That's why we tell you, go and, support our backup channel. Every now and then, questions comes to me on my YouTube. It asks me some certain question. The one I got yesterday is asking me, is from Africa Reloaded. That's like the YouTube channel. It says the best African country to invest right now. Let me ask you, what is the best African country to invest? And some of you think that, Nigeria is still a country. I pity a lot of you. I pity a lot of you. I am in my 40. Yes, I am not in Nigeria, but I'm more concerned about my people. But you are in Nigeria, and at the end of the day, some of you will never even taste the kind of life I have tasted. You will never, as long as you want to keep Nigeria, you will never taste it. And that's a fact. You will never taste it. You will never. Because at the end of the day, we are not the one that destroy Nigeria. Those that destroy Nigeria are still living with you. People like Gowon. Gowon destroyed Nigeria. He's still alive. He's still telling you Nigeria is going to work. He wants to see Nigeria to be a country in the next 60 years. And Babaki Toye is coming out to say, look, you know, this thing is not working. Let's talk about something else. I'm looking at so when we asked you a question now, I'm putting a question to those of you with me this morning. I'm putting a question. Where is the best African country to invest? If you have money today, where will you invest out of all these 4 countries? Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa. Where do you think people want to invest? I'm putting the question, I want to see the answer. Where do you think people want to invest? Níbo lẹ rò pé àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ invest? Somebody say Kenya. Àwọn tó kù gbọ́ question yẹn. Nínú ìlú mẹ́rin, èwo lẹ rò pé àwọn èèyàn ní gbogbo àgbáyé? Because all these things is the statistics to monitor, a lot of what is going on. The question is, where would you invest your money? Don't come here and start saying, no. If you have money, where would you invest? From Kenya to Nigeria, Uganda, and South Africa. Continue to believe in Nigeria. You think that Nigeria will survive another 60 years. It might not break up straight away now, but the tendency that it's not going to break, it will break. And I pray every day I wake up that there should be more problem that will lead to the breakup of Nigeria. I don't care whatever that problem is. If it's going to be anarchy, if it's going to be peaceful, if it's going to be dialogue, I don't give a toss. Nothing is going to come easy. So as we are waiting, and I pray, even though I know they might back out, that the labor union would eventually go on that full strike and shut down every part of Nigeria, I will be very, very excited. And the answer to the question I asked you, somebody says South Africa, I've seen Kenya. Do we agree? Best African country to invest right now. Down. If I'm just there, I'm doing my little thing. We are talking to people. We are not talking to ghosts. Tabambe question and you respond in the comment section. You better read me. Where is the best African country to invest? Where is the best African country to invest as of today? So I pray for me that the strike goes ahead so that we can shut down Nigeria properly. So Labour and TUC, Emagba body. Yes, right to ask for more wages, because I want politicians, make possible. So Labour is faulting the federal government. Fault the federal government meeting. Insist indefinite strike will go ahead. Labour fault federal government. Insist. So, Moshindrum, I want to see more answer, because more people are not responding. It looks like everybody is just, Eshigoni, Ifeni, Ifeoluwa. I can see somebody is just, at the moment. But I like TikTok, because I don't know how all these things work. I don't get paid anymore on all the social media, as far as I'm concerned. Nobody's paying me. I know the TikToks, people are buying all these things, but more accumulate to win. I don't get paid on Facebook. I don't have any advert on any of my platforms. So as far as I'm concerned, I can say as much as long as Facebook might take me out at YouTube. So once again, a very good morning. It's just 10:43 as I'm preparing once again for the program this morning. Anyway, the answer is Kenya. So I need Latima drag it. Kenya is where people want to go and invest. So if you have money, you better take it to Kenya. So if you think that is Nigeria, you're wasting your time. Nigeria is no longer in the picture. Nigeria is just a big elephant. Only doríṣiríṣi ọ̀bẹ ká tíbọ̀ ká pàdánù kó bá tiẹ̀ lọ torí ó ti bayé jẹ́. Nigeria ti bayé jẹ́, ó ti bayé jẹ́. So I pray that the strike goes ahead. That is my own prayer. I don't know what is your own prayer, but my prayer is the strike goes ahead as they plan it for next week Wednesday. So that way orí government àpé I mean Bọ́lá Tinubu wà nísìnyí you know ó ti lọ tọ́jú ara ẹ̀ you know ṣé Rishi Sunak prime minister mi lè kúrò nílùú yìí kó lọ sí country mi kó lọ gba treatment wàláì kó tó dé la máa sọ fún ibi tó ti lọ yẹn náà ló gbọ́dọ̀ resign wọ́n bí da kó kúrò nílùú yìí kó lọ sí another European country kó lọ gba treatment ó máa láti ibi tó lọ yẹn gangan ló máa resign sí you know shit o president you know shit o country you know ó kúrò ní New York ó gbé presidential flight ó lọ pàkẹ́ sí France kò ṣe pé ó lọ fún business summit he's not there for business summit he's not there for anything ó lọ gba treatment ni ó lọ recharge rẹ̀ in tó lọ ṣe nìyẹn náà you know so one thing a lot of you don't understand is you know you are more angry with us àwọn bàbá yín tó wà ní 60 àwọn ìyá yín tó wà ní 50 tó sì ń support àwọn politics àwọn lẹ́yìn kẹlẹ́ máa làǹkan mọ́ lórí náà kò ń ṣàwà ó ṣe jẹ́ mi ni ẹ wá fi máa lè fi máa kanra mọ́ èèyàn kan ti sọ nísìn mo rí kan nísìn you know kò dẹ̀ lè gbójú ẹ̀ jáde ó ní you no dey tire bàbá ẹ̀ no dey tire ọmọ àlè bàbá ẹ̀ ni kò ní tire olóṣì àwọn ọmọ ìrankíran àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n ní lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kankan you know bàbá yín títí tó fi kú kò rí ìtọ́jú ní Nàìjíríà ìyá yín tó fi kú kò rí ìtọ́jú Nàìjíríà ó ní you no dey tire tí ìbá tire kò wá nà mí lẹ́gbàá born bastard you know I live in a very small you know very very beautiful place you know not too expensive I've been here for 25 years my life is better mo sọ fún yín pé life yín ò better ó ní you no dey tire ó lè ṣì ṣé mi ní ilé ẹkin táyà àbí wọlé ẹkú táyà ìyá mi Abọ́sẹ̀dé good morning ṣé mi ilé ẹkin táyà àbí wọlé ẹkú táyà you know àmàlà gan nísìnyí ẹ lè jẹ àmàlà tó jẹ́ the cheapest in Gari wọ́n maltreat yín ní Nàìjíríà àwa ń jáde à ń jà fún yín ẹ sọ pé you need a tire bàbá ẹ ló máa táyà olùlọ́ṣẹ́ ọmọ àwọn tó lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ you know àwọn tó ń jí owó yín ẹ lè lọ bá wọn kẹ́ bínú sí wọn gan dezeni lágbára Ọlọ́run kódà torí ètò ìzẹ́nì gangan mo ṣe fẹ́ lọ sí magistrate court ní next week kódà mo ní stream láti ta mo máa wọnú ilé àlàáfíà ni atẹ́gùn yẹn pọ̀ gan níta ẹ mọ̀ pé winter ti fẹ́ dé so tátẹ́gùn yẹn bá ti ń pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ winter ti fẹ́ dé nìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ la máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbé gbogbo jákẹ́ẹ̀tì tẹ́yìn rí a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń wọ̀ bí baba suwe you know so dezeni mo máa wọnú court mo fẹ́ lọ rí ojú ẹni tó tẹ̀ ń pè ní dezeni yẹn a ti charge ẹ ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ charge wọ ó dìgbà tó bá parí case la máa mọ̀ bí ó wà guilty tó bá ti wà guilty tó bá dẹ̀ wà guilty but for now a ti charge ẹ so there's a limit to what I can say on that case you know we are telling you that the system is so corrupt and it has actually damaged the lives of many of you ìkan wọ́n ní you no dey tire ṣé mi lẹ́yìn kó máa sọ pé you no dey tire owó láàárọ̀ yìí nísìn ṣe mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà kò ní host AFCON kí ló tẹ̀ ń pè ní AFCON yẹn kò sí ẹ jẹ́ lọ Google ẹ̀ èyí tẹ́ wà lórí Koiki Media lágbára Ọlọ́run tó bá ti di 11 like I said mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá wa lọ sí orí backup channel wa mo ti wà live lórí ẹ̀ báyìí màá share link yẹn at 11 o'clock I'm gonna disconnect that okay African Cup of Nations can you imagine ẹ ṣe gan ni bá èmi wà kó ń ṣe gbogbo kan náà làwa náà mọ̀ ìmí tá a bá mọ̀ á gbé lọ sórí ifá kí ifá bá wa sọ mo kí gbogbo ilé nǹkan sí when I'm talking ẹ má fi anger tèmi pé ẹ̀yin ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ I am just talking to àwọn tó ṣe wà blockhead because even if you disagree with him tan so the question you should ask yourself is how much more la need before a better country okay ẹ fẹ́ Yorùbá nation agreed but you should also have a better country ṣé mo right okay ẹ fẹ́ Biafra ẹ dẹ̀ fẹ́ Yorùbá nation agreed but you should have a better country ṣé wọ́n ní kẹ́ má ní better life ni how do you expect to be coming on the social media and be pleading for people to give you money ìjọba ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ wà lamẹ́ríkà ó wà ní Canada ìmí gan tó wà ní Turkey gan ẹ ń béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ ẹni tó wà ní Turkey inflation tó wà lọ́wọ́ Turkey mo ń bá Ọmọlúkà àti my sister were in a conference called Yorùbáwùyí ẹ̀ ní láti montan discourse it's not for public consumption àti bàbá Èkìtì you know we were talking behind the scene mo ń sọ fún Ọmọlúkà pé ṣó mọ inflation tó wà nínú Turkey ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún yín ní inflation tó wà ní Turkey but the fact is that they still have a better life than many of you in Nigeria. The inflation in Turkey, according to the statistic, well, according to the trading economics, ẹ mọ̀ pé gbogbo nǹkan gbọ́dọ̀ níbi tá a ti máa fún yín ní the right source. A gbọ́dọ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ níbi táwa dé ní sika kò sọ̀rọ̀ without giving you a right source. Eshegoni, Mr. Simple, only African Cup of Nations. Nigeria lost to Morocco. Why should Nigeria not be able to host it? And it causes any security. Causes security. Tó bá dẹ̀ gbèrú event yẹn wá, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò mí nísìn, kódà bó bá jẹ́ pé mo ní ọmọ African Cup of Nations bọ̀, kí la lè sáré jọ ṣe? Ó dà Mr. Koiki, kí lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ pa lè ṣe? Ó dà bí akákọ̀ tàn kankan, ká ṣe souvenir kékeré kan, kí invest 1 million. Kí n dẹ̀ rí 1 million mi padà, kí n dẹ̀ rọra rí 500,000 lé lórí. Ìtàn pè ní business nìyẹn. Wàláì tí bá fún ẹ ní 1 million yẹn àti 1 million àti wọ́ fúnra rẹ gan, mo lè má rí ẹ mọ́. Ta ni máa wá mú? Ìlú tó ní data. A lot of risk ni gbogbo one take pẹ̀lẹ́ ìtẹ̀ wà nílé nígbà míì because mọ́ra wa délẹ̀. Kò sí data. Tó bá gbówó yẹn sá lọ, ta ni máa wá lọ bá? And that is why there is so much problem. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí orí Turkey while I'm preparing again because mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ too much nísìn. You know, actually that you were on.
But if you want to do your way across into
Àbọ̀rọ̀ mo yé nísìn, right? Inflation Turkey is 47.8. Tó o bá mọ̀ tán pè bẹ́ẹ̀, that shows pé poverty tó wà nù lú yẹn nísìn, it get as it be. But do you know what? Ará Turkey ní àwọn tí ń pè ní Turkiya, wọ́n ti change orúkọ wọn. They can still be able to eat at least a bread, cheese, and tomato. They play. Bí èmi nìyà ń jẹ ni, bí ẹ̀yin nìyà ń jẹ ni. Mo gbọ́ fídíò bọ̀bọ̀ kan lánàá. Màá play video yẹn nísìnyí kó lè fún mi ní room láti sáré post àwọn nǹkan tá a fi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí láàárọ̀ yìí. This is coming from the Department of Force Intelligence ní Nigeria. But ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ bí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ṣe sọ fúnra rẹ̀. Ẹ lè enjoy it. It's about 9 minutes. Màá dé máa kọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin méjì ẹ̀ kí n kàn fi ní time láti sáré push nǹkan tí mi fẹ́ bá Archie sọ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ máa gbọ́ nǹkan tí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn sọ. Èmi ti gbọ́ lánàá, but ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ báyìí ti gbọ́ ẹ gbọ́ nǹkan tí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn sọ.
is an information coming from the Department of Force Intelligence. Yes, a department of Nigerian Police Force. This is the Force Intelligence. And if you are a Nigerian, or whether you are here or outside here, as far as you have people who still travel by road, people when they use their car travel from state to state, from place to place, people when they enter buses, Ekele Dilichuku, God is good, Big Joe, all this motto when they move from state to state, people when they use coaches, people when they use buses. Even if you are not in Nigeria, if you have anybody in Nigeria who still uses this means of transportation, will not be air, I beg you, share this video, save this video, and send it to them. If possible, explain to them in your local language what I'm about to share with you. Because the fact that Nigeria Police, the intelligence unit, share this information should tell you a lot more than whatever I'm telling you now. They say Nigeria is facing serious security challenges. So, if you must...
Did you hear that word? DG, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa, mo kí gbogbo yín àgbàlagbà. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí mi jókòó sí and disrespect any one of you. And I'm just even saying that even after tí Kiniba hosted tán, mo ṣe ń rí nísìnyí bí confessor rẹ̀ lórí ní orí STARR láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Morocco will host it in 2025. Okay, ká tẹ̀sọ́ pé wọ́n fi fún Nigeria. Why not give it to Nigeria to host it in 2027? Do you know where it is going? Remember at the beginning of this program, I asked a question. Many of you did not respond. Moni, where would you invest? Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, and Uganda. Do you know that Uganda and Kenya will host the same AFCON in 2027, and even Tanzania? So 3 countries are expected to host it. Why are they avoiding Nigeria? Is Nigeria not a good place to come and do that kind of event? You think when they are looking around and thinking about Nigeria, they will look at all the factors. They will look at all the factors. And blame. We are not blaming you as a Nigerian. We are blaming the system that have deprived us. It's only Nigeria. I'm right in front of me on my screen. It is the chief executive of Edinburgh International Festival. On give a report. Lori BBC. Power journalist news in the daily. Gbogbo nu le mi news ni. Ìyàwó mi ti accept mi, ọmọ mi ti accept, kọ́ lọ́ bá ń dúró tí wọ́n kọ́ wá accept mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Because ìyẹn gbọ́dọ̀ ní àwọn ìyàwó àtọmọ tó dúró tìyàn dáadáa torí pé if not iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe àní lè ṣe there will be conflict of interest because ojoojúmọ́ ni mò ń disturb wọn nínú ilé. Mr. Peter ni Nigerians are suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Àwọn ìbò yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. Mo kí gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kan sí. So don't think that we are attacking you as Nigerians. No, we are attacking the people. Mori Wike àti Gbajabiamila ó lè ní Gbajabiamila. He's a criminal because owó tó yẹ kó fún èmi ti gba owó insurance nílùú Ire. Mọ́tò kan gbá mọ́tò mi. Mo yẹ̀ wò tẹ̀ nínú. Around BRB 206 or 207, I can't remember. Wọ́n san payout gidi fún mi. Kẹwàá imagine kí lọ́ọ̀yà tó yẹ kó fún owó mi lówó yẹn. In tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Gbajabiamila ó lè nìyẹn ó lè ní. Bọ̀ ẹ lọ sí gbogbo Surulere nísìn. Wọ́n máa ní Gbaja ó lè ní Gbaja. Owó tó jí yẹn ló fi wá ṣe politics ní Nàìjíríà. Òun àti Wike wọ́n náà ń ṣe ọbẹ̀ inú gbogbo àwọn yẹn wá ń dùn. Wike ni at least I give them something to talk about. If nothing sunny sin, ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí máa yẹn because I only have 5 minutes to join the Star Radio. But ṣèbí nǹkan tí America sọ tí mo sọ lánàá. Òun ni bọ̀bọ́ yìí náà ń sọ police in Nigeria ló ń advice yín nísìn ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré gbọ́ because it's about 9 minutes mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ fún yín náà as an advice okay platform tiwa we want to give you advice mo kí bàbá Kẹ́hìndé so let me shut up and keep my mouth shut because ẹ̀bùn tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìgbà míì gan yín wá tẹ̀lé ẹ ká ṣáà gbọ́ nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ while I prepare for my own program.
Do an interstate travel, please note the following. 1. Schedule it between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Don't leave too early. Don't be caught in the late hours. 2. Remove titles from your phone contact. Example, now when they service store name for bragging purpose, Honorable, Alhaji, okay. Chief, Inspector, military ranks, and in general, do not displace your ID card. You see, if you travel, you can't hang your ID. They can't say you work for NNPC. You work for all this company where they stop it. Number 3, while driving, focus on the road and ensure that every 5 to 7 minutes there is a traffic on the returning lane. Let's say for instance you are going right, people they come from left. If you notice that road or that road dry, people know they move.
You better take this advice, especially those of you in Nigeria.
Make sure you see motor coming before you proceed. There could be a danger ahead.
Okay.
Number 4, try not to exceed 100 kilometers per hour so you can make your judgments timely. It will also help you look out for traps and appreciate the terrain. Overspeeding in every sense is bad. So 100 kilometers per hour is wise. Why? Because if, for instance, you suspect people different, if you match brake, your car is still under control. You can reverse and run. But if you don't do speed, if you match brake, say you can even get accident where you will tumble. That will even lead to a death instead of kidnapping. Now, number 5, if you can, please don't use tinted sheets on your car. It passes a message to the bandits and criminal elements that you are a VIP.
Take this advice. I am begging you. Don't joke with it.
As far as you get the potential to bring big ransom, you are a target. Uniform men and women, they know they waste time at all. Either they kidnap them or they kill them instantly. Be wise. Number 6, make sure you always have a spare tire, plug, and fuel pump in your car. Don't ignore this because your motor will spoil anywhere. And imagine say your motor spoil. People come meet you there. You don't even have a chance at all. Easy catch. Now, number 7, even if you are not the one driving, put your phone away and keep your eyes on the road to help driver identify approaching threats. Me, I did very good at this one. If you follow person drive, don't think it's the driver's business alone.
It's everybody's business.
Sometimes your driver might even be sleeping.
Benny.
Maybe I close, you don't know. Now you go look, say, oh, get up your eye. Sometimes engage.
Emabino is my system. This system is really messing me up now. Better system. Anyway, you've got a bit of gist of what the guy was saying. All I can advise everyone is take precaution. There's nothing we can do. We can only continue to tell your government to do the needful and make sure that you have opportunities, but you yourself be very, very security conscious. be very, very security conscious. It is extremely important that you take your security serious. Don't joke. Nigeria is becoming a very, very, people are desperate. Everyone is desperate. Don't joke. So take your security, serious. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní tẹ́ pinnu estate lẹ́ ń gbé, ẹ bá ti ń ṣe àwọn meetings ní tẹ́ máa ń ṣe yẹn, ẹ make sure pé ẹ emphasize àwọn tó ń guide yín ní inú estate. They must not take things, for granted. Everybody is a suspect. That is why ìlú yìí tí bá gbọ́ gbogbo sì máa ṣí window. Kò sí tó kàn mí, but I just want to be sure that whatever it is, ó lè má mean anything. Ó lè jẹ́ after 2 weeks, ọlọ́pàá lè wá kúnlẹ̀kùn pé, did you hear anything? And like how? Ọlọ́pàá máa fún any timeline. It was around 11. The children have gone to school. There were some noises and all that. Oh, yes, I opened my window. I'm a son in Africa. Yeah, me, I saw people with a fight. Say, what did you see? Ọlọ́pàá, I'ma take note. And they will now use that to build a case. Ẹ wo ọmọ tó pa lánàá nísìn. Mo sọ fún yín pé crime wà nílùú yìí. How can a 17 years old pa ọmọ, I mean, even though I have to be very careful because I think confirm won't look back, but again, a 17 years old has been detained. Ọmọ 15 years old tó múra nílé, tó wẹ̀, tó ń lọ sí school, tó bọ́lẹ̀ lórí bus, tó dẹ̀ stab ẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ ṣe kí ni? Ó ti di ẹni tí ọba Ẹlẹ́dùmarè sọ pé kó máa padà bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ òun. So kò ń ṣe ọ̀dọ̀ yín nìkan ni problem wà. There is a lot of problems here as well. Kọ́lọ̀ ń dúró ti àwọn family yẹn. Ọmọ tí yan nurse títí dé 15 years old. Ìyẹn làwọn kan máa ní àwọn tó bá ń ṣe prayer ẹ fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kó máa ṣe prayer wọn because ìtọ́ lè fi protect àwọn ọmọ nìyẹn. Ìwọ tó bá mọ̀ nípa ìṣẹ̀ṣe fi protect àwọn ọmọ ẹ. Ìwọ tó bá mọ̀ nípa àwọn àfáà fi protect àwọn ọmọ ẹ. That is why we are being told that, as much as, that is not the only problem. But ta ló pray pé kó bímọ, kọ́mọ ẹ wá ṣe kíni, kó wá dẹni tí ó dolóògùn. It's a very sad situation. Extremely sad. So I must switch around because it's 11 o'clock. And Koiki Media, we will have to cut you off now. The link for the backup channel is currently right in the comment section. I don't know what is going on. My system is not completely, it's not functioning. System is overwork. So, koloko jakari enough for all that if you me. Need a brand new one. Betty, cool. Anyway, I gotta stop this one. Sorry, backup channel. If you don't know the backup channel by now, that means you are not really following, the platform as well. We need to charge you. So let me quickly charge it. You need to switch this since 11 o'clock. And I'm gonna go on STARR Radio and do what I do best, which is, talking to people. That's what I love to do best. So Katulo Sonic Nigeria there. And I hope everything works this morning. Sometimes our gonna any technical glitch. If you accept Nigeria to any technical problem, and it can reset it. And now, if you reset it, and the shisha. So everybody might breakfast. So but all the kind of my jello my yatoni. So Lori Koiki Media, like I say, to be able to continue with the program. So let me turn my camera off here and switch this to the STARR Radio. And then later join the backup channel. That is if not Tabakbari, I'll upload it. Sorry, Facebook. We have told you that we're gonna be doing that. Yeah, that is it that way. So it's just to encourage you all to help us to push, the platform. Let about push it. That push it. So there will subscribe, follow it. Nobody will be able to know that we are there. So you just come out and say, nígbà tí Koiki Media channel gangan bá di pé gbọ́ wa mọ́ láti bẹ̀ kí lè máa ṣọ ẹni Koiki àti mọ ẹnu ló ń dán láti joy kò ṣe Yorùbá Nation mọ́ dẹ̀ níwọ̀n pé ẹ̀yin ni lọ sórí platform yẹn so ẹ bá wa lọ síbẹ̀ tẹ́ bá fẹ́ really follow it if otherwise tí bá parí ẹ̀ máa upload ẹ̀ wá sí orí Koiki Media. Thank you so much. Bye for now. So that is on that. And I think anytime I'm just gonna leave you because shining light in mariachi so it's 4 minutes past now. Mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́wà lórí mixella mo rí comment section yẹn gbogbo tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàárọ̀ pẹ̀lú mixella rẹ̀ kò fún mi ṣé mo tẹ̀ start ẹ̀ ṣá lákòlèjà láìlè mo start ẹ̀ látẹ̀kàn ṣá látẹ̀kàn tí mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀ almost 20 something minutes alright tí wà on nísìn alright mo start ẹ̀ látẹ̀kàn plan bí ó dẹ̀ sọ fún mi pé mo ti start ẹ̀ so thank you so much mo ti rí àwọn tó ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa thank you so much ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wá join wa lórí Koiki Media Backup. I can see you there. Thank you so much. You've moved from the other platform here. We appreciate you. So let's go back and then I'll be joining now. You'll be seeing my screen coming up as I join the studio. Thank you. So that is that. Yeah. So now I'm going to leave you guys like this. There's nothing wrong like that. I think the only platform that is not live is the Facebook. So let me go live on the Facebook. Even though Facebook is becoming a very nonsense platform, they keep reducing our content. Also to log me out, anytime okay, can I log back in quickly? To very password to my security. Oh my God. I hope I remember because power gbọ́dọ̀ ní security tó pọ̀ lórí platform lórí kíní wa torí ẹlòmíì ní sin bó ṣe máa hack mi ló mọ̀ kó hack wa ká má lè ráyè ṣe anything mọ́ ìrọ́dẹ̀ lẹ́pa ẹ̀ bá try láti fẹ́ hack ẹ̀ mo need to authenticate. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that because mo jẹ́ kó stress me that right. So if the Facebook isn't I like Facebook my anyway, so I hate that platform so much now. How can we have over 500,000 followers and the content is not pushing? It's because mama put it bamba 500,000 people sorry so what I do is I reduce my content and that way nobody can hear what I'm saying. So if I join studio. Let me check
This is the STARR Radio, okay? Your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 7 minutes by the top of the hour. You're in by Pastor Tugara, Wachiansa, all the way in Oxfordshire. Fairly Gates Church. Yes, I each and every one of you there as well. But it is the Thursday edition of the morning show. And I've got the singular honor to welcome once again my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Koiki. Guys, bear with me. I say not to say anything. But just bear with me. I'll be looking at that. STARR Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time to what? Please by the top of the hour. And listen to quick commercial break whilst I get Rodney's screen on. So just bear with me. Don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. The money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit with us.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business that you were afraid to ask. How do I start? Start. Get all the and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate you. Rather, it's your signature on life.
Are you looking for the first? Okay, listeners, just bear with me. I'm going to just do something. Yomi, just a minute. I'm going to restart something, so just bear with me, all right? Your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time. You are not sure. Well, land shippers, we proud ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy ship.
Yeah, there's a problem from the other side. Okay, Mighty, I got me. Alafia Lewa. My dear brother, which country are you from? I'm from Yoruba land, southwest of Nigeria, but not in Nigeria though. Alaji, Idris, Muki. There's a problem from their side. Skyping. Yeah, why don't on Skype? Let me tell you about this Skype. That is, who owns Skype? Skype communication, right? His founder is called Nicholas Sandstrom and Genos. 2003. New Skype Timon Louis. 2003. New Dasile lo founded. 2003. Skype was created by Nicholas Zenistron and Genos Furies and 4 Estonian developers. Estonia. Ẹ̀yin fi knowledge tí yín ẹ fi ń ṣe kíni ẹ fi ń jalè. That's what you're doing. Ẹ fi knowledge tí yín ẹ fi ń commit a crime against humanity. Okay, what's wrong with my Skype? Seems that it's trying to call back. Màá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ later. Ẹ ká deal pẹ̀lú problem tó wà bí báyìí náà. Sometimes technology. Should I reboot my own system as well? Because my telephone try láti pè láti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Látọ̀dọ̀ actually, there's a technical problem from their end. When the Skype me learn this thing. I need a new laptop. This laptop is completely gone now. I'm about to start a Latin Larry. Let's see. Skype. We've lost 13 minutes already. I'll restart my system. Enter Lori Mixella. I'm going to stop the transmission and I'm going to come back later. Having problem with the system. Let's restart. Oh boy. I have to be a little bit patient. I should tell it to log me out and see what's going on. everybody. Ọ̀rọ̀ Naira Marley àti Mohbad. Bẹ́ẹ̀ olúkálùkù máa tó dákẹ́ òkú díẹ̀ ni. Let's see. Let's go back again and see. Let's go back and see. Let's go back.
Late Apostle Magnafu and Mrs. Victoria wishes to invite friends and loved ones and all sympathizers to a one-week observation at the New Christian Center, 87 Beddington Lane, Croydon, postcode CR04TD. The event will take place on Friday, the 6th of October, 2023 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Buses 466 and 463 fly that route. And if you want to travel on a tram, Beddington Lane is a stop for you. Also, there's going to be free parking there. For further information, please contact Evelyn on 075 5483 8421. Koyo 073 7592 8737. Or Sheila on 079 8358 1818. Come and mourn with us, even as we celebrate the lives of the late Apostle Magnafu and Mrs. Victoria Nyaku. God bless you and see you all there. Hey, listener, just bear with me. Yomi says he can't see me. Yomi says he can't see me. And I'm having a challenge there trying to see him as well. But just bear with me. I don't know. But let's see whether he can hear me. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Let's go on whilst I get the team to be working behind the scenes. Listeners, STARR Radio UK, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, bringing you updates from Nigeria. Yomi, how are you and how is the family?
Well, we're doing very well. The family is very well as well. We're grateful, and I hope yours are doing great as well.
Yeah. Doing great. Just worried about what happened yesterday. The stabbing that took place, and it's a very sad one in the communities here. Traffic and all that stuff. So, it's crazy, but well, one of those is we thank God that we are still alive. Yes. Let's go straight to the Niger Voices because another smash of the program. But for the sake of those who didn't join the program, can you please give us a sneak view of what was discussed, please?
Well, we talked about mostly focus on the NLC and the TUC 48 hours after the independent, which is coming up on Sunday. Nigeria will be on a complete shutdown because of the indefinite strike. That seems to be still going ahead. We're going to be talking about that a little bit this morning as well. But it seems that the president is not back to Nigeria. Maybe that is the reason why there is a kind of a delay between, the NLC. So Niger Voices yesterday was more of asking the question surrounding the Nigerian Labour Congress. Are they going to be fruitful this time around? We've seen that it hasn't been the Nigerian Labour Congress that most of us, grew up to see how active they've been. But it seems that this time around, we will have to see the test of time between the new administration. We went further to talk about some other areas when it comes to the new CBN. The new CBN has now been confirmed by the Senate. The question is, what is he going to do differently from Emefiele? Then we went straight into the the self-determination, the indigenous people, and the reason why, the self-determination is still a push. And as we were waiting for the signal from the leader of the Yoruba self-determination campaign groups, Professor Banji Akintoye, he spoke yesterday, but even though we couldn't get the signal in time before we actually ended the program, but we will be giving more on that later on in the next program next week. But he spoke for about 30 minutes on the Yoruba World Media and also all other media from the Yoruba home-based media and the other independent media as well. But one of the message that I grabbed from the conversation yesterday while he was presenting, because many Nigerians are saying that the Yorubas are probably not really interested anymore as those that wanted the indigenous people to leave Nigeria because of the current administration, because it's from southwest. I'm talking about the president Bola Tinubu, but the leader of the Yoruba self-determination insisted consistently that yes, Bola Tinubu has a right to be the president, but he hasn't been a president for the Yoruba people. He's a president for Nigeria. Communication will continue with the current administration, just like it was done with the previous administration. But the point that he actually stressed on, we are in this struggle to win. It does not matter how long it will take. Also, we talked about, the other woman that we brought onto the program on Niger Voices sometime around June, if I remember, Chief Mrs. Duponitiri. She actually said she declared the Yoruba nation under a name called Ominira 2022. That again is a complete false, is a lie. And the reason for that is, in journalism, you should be able to differentiate who is telling lies as against who is actually giving you the right information. When we've asked her to give us the evidence of this declaration, all she has pointed us is we should go to the YouTube channel where it has been declared, and that is a fact that she has. They also cooked up a particular story. Can you still hear me back in the studio?
Yes, we can hear you. Now.
Okay, because my camera is freezing, that's why. She also went further to say that she sent an ambassador at large to the United Nations Completed General Assembly. When we went to do a cross-checking, the man that went there didn't talk about Ominira. He actually talked about a different name, but he hasn't attended the 78th General Assembly. He must have attended another event. United Nations, or the UN rather, is a big organization that has different events that been across the year. What the man known as Faleti Stephen went for was what we call the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And they've actually used that to tell the Yoruba people that they've actually declared, that he has gone to represent the Yoruba people. And just to finish it off, we talked about the Biafra, which we talked in the morning. What is Bola Tinubu going to do differently as Buhari and Osibajo that kidnapped and rendition Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria? All these were part of what was packed up in the Niger Voices yesterday. But next week, we will continue again.
Let's stop. It's not one of this saying, let's continue the conversation with our consensus that we try to work on. But some more, let me say good morning to you. It's been quite a while, and I hope you are doing very, very well. God bless you too. All right. Now, it's quite interesting pertaining to what was discussed pertaining to the NLC's indefinite strike. We were asked what I just said. Now, but has the government actually made any further move from what we saw them making? Because we know that the president is not in town. So what is going to happen there?
Well, you will expect that, the president should be the one in charge. If the country is going on an indefinite strike, whatever he's doing in France, he must leave that and return back home. He has actually left the New York. The reason why he went out of Nigeria, he announced he was going to United Nations General Assembly. But because as African leaders, they try to hide a lot of things. We know that he has gone for medical treatment. It's just a fact. But these are not going to be told to Nigerians, just as Buhari spent so much time. The president was here as at the time, and then after the whole event, he stayed back. The question is, can the vice president handle, the situation between the NLC and also the federal government? would Bola Tinubu, the president, return back in time? He has more time. I mean, it's currently in France. It's just less than 8 hours maximum to return back to Nigeria. So we hope he will be on the ground in time to resolve the current situation between the NLC and as well the federal government. But the headline this morning goes ahead and says the labor union has now again faulted the federal government meeting, insists on the indefinite strike.
So, well, if you are still insisting on the indefinite strike, then, well, we know that the president has to make his way home. But maybe he has trust in Ashetima can see to, resolve whatever thing that's going on. I don't know. We've not seen him much in that particular office doing things like that yet. So, we hope to see. But interestingly, the price of food has gone up by 21%. And this is a case where we're talking about, individuals or Nigerian citizens that they don't have even the implement that they've got so far. Those who are working in the government sector, who now, virtually, those who are also in the private sector look to either match it or whatever. I've not had 31% increment in their wages. So how are people going to be able to cope with that?
Well, when it comes to the high food prices in Nigeria today, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, Ebonyi and Abia State lead as food prices jump from 31% within 12 months. We're talking about from July last year to July this year. This is coming, according to the analysis of the Selected Food Price Watch. This is a report that is published monthly, basis by the National Bureau of Statistics. We're going to give you some data to work with for those that are listening to us. The selected food items include staples such as the rice, 1 bag, 1 kg, beans, 1 kg, bread, 500 grams, tomato, beefs, and wheat, 2 kg, gari, 1 kg, and the palm oil. According to the report, the highest food price increase was recorded in the price of yam, which actually jumped by 42% from 389 naira 75 kobo in 2022 July to now 539 naira 41 kobo in 2023. This was closely followed by the price of 1 kilogram of rice, which increased from 467 naira 80 kobo to 653 naira 49 kobo. The question is, how is this new administration going to slow down the cost of food prices that is going up continuously? Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba, talked about many businesses. I didn't know that, but again, it's just the fact that we do not have enough of what we use to produce what we need. Cement is a lot of consumption for many builders around Nigeria, but there are some certain products that you need to bring into the country to make it become that cement and to be used and to be sold. The question is, according to the professor said yesterday, Nigerians are no longer guaranteed credit notes from any other countries around the world when it comes to buying products outside. As the food price continues to go up, how is the government going to slow it down? Because already, remember that we talked about the World Bank last week saying that the problem between Nigeria and Niger means that 8 more million people will be added to the existing millions of Nigerians that are already in the poverty line.
Well, listeners, it's quite an interesting and a difficult time. Just bear with us. I said, what is happening? I think they need to be an update. I can't do any update. The usual update is topic broadcast, so you have to just go on with that. Okay. So now, if have they, those, the MBS who was, making that analysis or bringing that information across. Now, what do they perceive are the causes of this food shortage?
Well, the causes varies. Remember that most of the farmers are struggling to get their produce out of the farm. If not, most of them, the farm produce have been damaged due to the insecurity. Benue State, there's a lot of problem from that side. In the northern part, there's the problem of the climate that is also having a big impact. But the biggest impact is due to the fact that many Nigerians are not getting the kind of support that they need from the state level, and that means that we will see more prices going up as Christmas is getting closer in less than 3 months.
Right. Now, what do you think? Maybe the president easing the influx of rice from Benin, because if that comes into the market, the price will drop because there's no more scarcity. We have enough rice on the market. Then the price will drop somehow. It's not a permanent thing I'm talking about, because we want to protect the local farmers who, at the moment, are not even able to go to their farms because of all these kidnappings and the killings that seem to be going on. So, what do you think government will have to do there?
Well, you're quite right. Would this new administration work differently when it comes to the former president that actually locked the border because of the influx of the rice, like you talked about, and other products coming into the country? Definitely, I think growing the local rice would have been the best option, but you must be able to give enough. And part of what they're expecting is the Dangote refinery will be able to do more fertilizer as well, because we need those fertilizer to be able to produce more of what we need. But the question is, if this new administration is really, really honest, when it comes to supporting farmers, the first thing is known that the word bandit or farmer herders crisis is not the right word. They must be identified as terrorists, and when terrorists are operating, you must also remember that it is not just kidnapping. Food security is one of the biggest threats in mankind.
Yes, of course. And that's when we have people here, some people who think that because they maybe came from an important room or whatever country, and now things are going on very well with them. They think that, well, anybody who comes here shouldn't be allowed to and all that stuff. I don't say that people should just illegally come in and all that. No. But people giving a fair chance to apply, and then because when there is no food for your children, and then you need to move on to another country, you cannot sit down to say that you are looking at your children to be hungry and die. No, that's why people move. That's why when our leaders sit down and think that everything is all right because they are sitting in the presidential palaces or in their nice homes, driving their nice cars and having their whatever businesses, and then eventually siphoning the funds of the state, then I get so angry. And I call for all sorts to happen. People think that at times I'm going bonkers, but I'm not. I know people.
Well, you're quite right. I think when we talk about the crises of the problems, most of the time, something that we are probably against, the current administration, or we are not. Yes, we are concerned because we have our loved ones that are hungry. They need to be taken care of. And if you go back again, April this year, the Nigeria annual inflation rose to 2-digit, 22.22. The previous month, as the price of food continued to rise, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. And if you think from April to now, things would have changed, but rather the inflation has remained elevated in what is called the Africa biggest economy. But as we know that is African biggest economy, takes us straight to the next conversation. How come Nigeria lost the bid to AFCON for the 2025 AFCON? Nigeria is not going to even be hosting it in 2027. Kenya and the other countries will be hosting it. These might have to do with the food security, but most importantly, the security itself in the country.
Wow. It is true there, because they will look at it that if you cannot actually cater for your own people, then how do you bring people into the country that we need to protect, and how do you deal with them? So I agree with you.
And Nigeria actually had a joint bid with Republic of Benin, but has failed to sail through, as the Confederation of the African Football CAF has announced Morocco as the next host. Nigeria joint bid with the Republic of Benin has failed to sail through, as the Confederation announced Morocco as the host for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, while Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania has been named the joint host. I was asking this morning before coming on air, where will you invest your country, invest your money? Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, or Uganda? It seems many people have chosen Kenya as the best destination for investment.
Oh. So maybe Morocco is hosting in 2025, and then 2027 Uganda, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania are hosting it. Maybe 2030, okay, things might have calmed down, and then maybe Nigeria and Ghana can host it. We are brothers, aren't we? Right?
Well, that's if the economy of Ghana can still hold on to that.
Listen, STARR in the UK. Now, let me bring you this one, which we've not captured yet, but it's an ongoing row between the former president, Obasanjo, and Afeni Ferry. Leaders. Now, when you hear about the political organization, Afeni Ferry has lashed out at the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, but disrespecting traditional rulers in Oyo State by ordering them to stand up and sit down. They said it was an event in Oyo State where when Obasanjo and Governor Sayi Makinde were entering the place, he told the traditional leaders to stand up and then told them to sit down. Now, some people have been calling Obasanjo enemy of the Yoruba nation. Now, can you tell us a bit about that? Yeah.
Well, many Yoruba people doesn't even believe that he's a Yoruba man because they think that Obasanjo's mother was the Yoruba. The father is from the southeast, and but he has lived most of his life as a Yoruba. He actually talked about being Nigerianness as against his Yorubaness. Maybe that is why he actually disrespected, the royal fathers. What was the reason for that? We don't have the audio clip here, but it was in the local language. But what he actually said during opening of some, construction work that has been completed by the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde. Obasanjo is an elder statesman, was invited, but he actually told the royal fathers, if they were not even in the public, we would have probably said this was in the very private place. This was in the open public with glaring cameras and all kind of different medias, and he actually told them to stand up and sit down. That was why many Yoruba people are now questioning that, this particular man is not even the man from the Yoruba side, because you will never see anyone speak to the Obas. Afeni Ferry, as you talked about, the social PAN group in Yoruba, the PAN Social Yoruba Social Political Organization, has now asked the former president Olusegun Obasanjo over this incident that took place around the 15th of September, where it actually rebuked the traditional rulers. They are now ordering them to stand up and sit down. A lot of music have come out of that. A lot of mimic have come around that. But the question now is, these has gone a little bit of reaction in the Yoruba people, and Afeni Ferry is now asking Obasanjo to apologize. You would think that Obasanjo would have done so 10 days ago, but Obasanjo is very, very adamant. He hasn't come out to apologize.
Well, he's not come out to apologize. Is it the reason why he's not standing for the quest of the Yoruba nation, that they think that we have to be on our own? So if it is respecting the leadership, the royal that we look up to there, then somebody will say, it is your own leadership is disrespecting them. So what about the ordinary person? Our listeners, we want to have your comments on that. Let's start with the UK. Bringing the time now to 11:37. Now, since I put this for those of you who lovely would have loved to see Mr. Olayomi Koiki's face back. Please, just bear with us. If you want to do that now, you have to restart the whole system. But just bear with us. Now, the fact that maybe Tinubu's quest to the Chicago court, the U.S. court, might have stopped the request by Atiku to get his transcript and certificate or whatever thing pertaining to the Chicago University. But it looks like that's not happening. But Atiku is planning to press suit against Tinubu. Tell us more about that, Jeremy.
Well, like I said, whatever is in that Chicago result or whoever was there, Atiku is now, like you said, the legal team of the People's Democratic Party and the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has filed a motion to challenge President Bola Tinubu's plea for Chicago State University not to release its privileged document in its academic record. A special advisor to Atiku on the public communication, Shuaibu, spoke that the legal team had up to 48 hours to respond to the motion. Last week was when the Nigerians and Atiku team were expected to get their hands on this document. I believe Chicago has prepared a document. They're just waiting for the court to give the go-ahead. And it seems that Thursday last week, things were pushed again as Tinubu continued to use whatever means from his legal team to stop Atiku because that is going to create bad image for him. But the magistrate Jeffrey Gilbert last week ordered Tinubu out matter to provide all relevant but a non-privileged document to the applicant within 2 days. That is still the question. With the new woman looking into the case allow Atiku to this, we would have to wait a little bit more. But it seems many Nigerians are now asking, what is President Bola Tinubu literally hiding from whatever was there in Chicago? Some have now advised, if you have to be in a university or polytechnic or technical school, make sure you have your record in details because it might fight you in the years ahead.
Well, as for Nigerian leaders, the past and the present one, there is some of the past one said really find a certificate. I just want to say I can't let them release their transcript to you. So you got an interesting one there. Let's see. Maybe you ask Obasanjo to get them to do it, do the diligence to that. But let's start already looking. If I let Yomi bring you the rest of the stories, the DSS have arrested Shiites. A spokesman Musa has said. Do you have any information pertaining to that, sir?
Not at the present. I don't have any details of such at the moment, but we'll see if we can find anything around that, and I'll let us know should we bring anything around that area.
To bring a snippet of what they are saying, this official of the Department of State Services have arrested spokesman for the Islamic movement of Nigeria, known as Shiites, Ibrahim Musa, with his family and associates demanding his immediate release. Now, Musa, who is the editor-in-chief of the Al-Mizan newspaper, was reportedly weeks away yesterday at the DSS at Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano. Al-Mizan, a weekly news magazine published in Hausa, also issued a statement yesterday announcing the arrest of its editor by the DSS. We'll be telling you more about that as and when we have more information to give you. Yomi, thank you very much. Now, let's go to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, sir.
Well, we go back again to Ondo State. We now can confirm that the reason why they are trying to bring down the deputy chairman from the new update coming, the fluid or the problem between Akeredolu and his deputy, it's all about the 2024 governorship election. That is coming from one of the headlines, this morning as we go into what is happening in the business area this morning. Women demand more roles in the maritime sector is one of the headline. Marketers urge federal government to address rising gas prices. The Nigerian Association of the Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers has called on the federal government to find ways to ensure stability of the gas prices and make it available to the common Nigerians. So we hope the government will be looking into that. Let's touch more on business and then prepare to go into what is happening. Oil price climbed to $95 per barrel, but as many Nigerians know that we do not have the capacity to refine this, and this is one of the major reasons why the NLC insists that they will go ahead with the indefinite strike. Nigerians continue to subsidize it until the new administration came in and say we can no longer subsidize it because we don't have such money. Once again, human capital development will curb brain drain unemployment. Many Nigerians are moving out of Nigeria while those in Nigeria are trying to find out what they can do when it comes to either working in the private or the public sector or setting up their own businesses as well. But the Nigerian Economic Summit Group has now stressed the need for the public and the private sector stakeholders to promote and ensure human capital development. This was in a statement from the group. So many statements I've read, so many statements we have been told, so many meetings, but the question is what becomes the end of these? It's all talk show. But let's hope this time around, the Nigerian Economic Summit Group will do at exactly what they are saying. The statement actually came from the chairperson of the Central Organized Committee, Amina Minor, stressed the need for the country to find a way to retain its best brains. Well, I'm sure many Nigerians would love to remain in Nigeria and help Nigeria, but when even the president has not returned back to Nigeria 6 days, Tinubu departed United Nations Summit in New York but he has been unable to return back to Nigeria. 6 days after leaving New York in the United States, where he attended the 78th United Nations General Assembly, President Bola Tinubu has still not made it back to Nigeria, leaving Nigerians wondering about his whereabouts and stoking up rumors that the president does not consider himself as being accountable to the people as he was elected to serve. Mr. Tinubu arrived in New York on the 18th of September, departed the U.S. last Thursday around 8:25 p.m. local time using the JFK airport. He has so far failed to even communicate his itinerary. I mean, imagine Rishi Sunak not returning back after the UN and we don't know where he is. I'm sure he'll probably have to prepare his resignation before returning back. But since this is Africa, and many Nigerians are probably more concerned about attacks on those that want a better Nigeria. A pattern are also similar to all of his predecessors. Muhammadu Buhari was used to extending stay outside the country, but this time around, we are not even getting any message from the spokesman of the president, Ajuri Ngelale. And I'm sure by the time he comes back, he's going to phantom something to Nigerians. So let's move straight again. This is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As we continue to monitor with the economy of Nigeria, the question is what will be done to make sure that many Nigerians have opportunity. Palliative continue to be distributed in Yobe State to households in 6 of the 17 local government. The question is, what happened to the rest of the other local government? I'm sure many will be asking. Strike. Organized private sector are now begging President Bola Tinubu, the Nigerian Labour Congress, to pity Nigerians. It reminds me of Timaya says, politicians pity Nigeria. The organized private sector of the Nigeria has urged President Bola Tinubu's government and the Nigerian Labour Congress to factor in the well-being of more than 200 million Nigerians and avert the strike planned for October 3rd. It said the two should work together in the interest of the nation's economy, which the strike would definitely bring a lot of problems. On Tuesday, the NLC have announced that October 3rd will be a total shutdown from the airport to other places, but the declaration followed the expiration of a 21-day ultimatum earlier. We hope President Bola Tinubu will return back to Nigeria and deal with the problems, because that is the reason why he was actually brought in, to fix the problem, not to run away from the problem, staying somewhere in France without no reasons. And many Nigerians would like to know. Let me take you straight now to what is trending on the social media this morning. Once again, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As we continue to ask, why many Nigerians are bitter when it comes to the current situation of things. There's so many reasons why Nigerians are bitter. They also put their anger right inside many other Nigerians. As I can tell you right now, coming live from Abuja, the vice president currently in charge of the country while the president is away, have arrived at the banqueting hall of the presidential villa in Abuja to attend a public lecture and symposium to mark Nigeria's 63rd independent anniversary with the theme actualizing the vision of the renewed hope for social economic development through effective development through effective leadership. Well, I'm sure Buhari did 8 years, and I'm sure so many of these kind of statement was presented to us. But we now know that Buhari failed, not just the economy, failed in security, failed in protecting Nigerians. And as we go straight into that, we now touch on some other things as well. Momo says Nigerian politician did Saudi Arabia and Qatar have the same oil. Nigerians' oil is even sweeter than their sweet crude. Oil derailed the progress of this country is a question by Dotman, but Momo said Nigerian politicians did what the Saudi Arabia and the Qatar have the same oil. As we go straight, let's go. Simon Ekpa, always remember to stay 1 kilometer away from Nigeria State and the Federal Secretariat in Biafra. This is coming from the government in exile of the Biafra. As we go straight to see what is happening more. 99% oppressed. Operation Name and Shame the worst bank in Nigeria. Wow. I'm sure we remember some of the banks here until the government actually intervened. When you want to use a different bank, you are being charged and all that have stopped here in UK, but I'm sure in Nigeria, many will name different banks, but we won't name those banks. We'll probably leave that for our listeners to decide. I'm going to take a couple of more from the thread of this morning. Yorubaners remember Chief Obad Adedeji Ogunde. He was an actor, a playwright, a theater manager, a musician who founded the first contemporary professional theater company in Nigeria. These are some of the brains that we have in the Yoruba. Ogunde married more than 10 wives. I'm not sure anyone want to try that this time around. He hadn't married those wives for any reason. He actually married them so that they can work with him in his theater project. He joined the Nigerian police force in 1941 in Ibadan till 1943. The police force then posted him to Dental Police Station, Ebutemeta, where he joined the African Initiated Church, the Church of the Lord Aladura in Lagos, where he created an amateur drama group, the African Music Research Party, in 1945. He died at the age of 73. So the question is, as we say all the time, he was born on the 10th of July, 1916. Many will say he actually was born just as Nigeria was amalgamated in 1914. Announcing his death on the 4th of April 1990 in London, England, precisely at the age of 73. May so rest in peace. And these are some of the icons and some of those that started what we call theater that many have now used to move forward. Let's talk about one more, and I'm going to come back again to you. And that is going to be the reactions of Nigerians on why the president has not returned back. Well, it's unfortunate that we can't see my images. I'll see if I can have this. Is somebody is actually, Nigerians are very, very interesting individuals and human beings. There is a maize as a human being, then roasting another maize. So you can think of that. And there's another maize that is now, putting a little bit of air to keep the fire burning. So we have three maize. One is the one that is rolling the maize, which is another maize. And there's another one that is putting a bit of air to it. Well, Tinubu is busy commodifying the naira. See how he's doing it. Well, interesting. There's another one with, a skit maker that is very popular in Nigeria. And sometimes the reaction also comes. She una see in do surprise stuff for France. I wonder who he really wants to surprise. Well, maybe he has to just stay in France and recharge and come back home. Someone says he's actually helping the Chicago University to hide his academic record. Another one said the man expressly said he will continue from where Buhari stopped. So how is this in news? Star Radio UK, 11:52. I will come back again to you in the studio.
Listeners, already. My sincere apologies has not been able to bring you the image the North London studios. As I said, it's due to an update. If we touch it, we will lose July. So we have to just it's quite it's still reviewing the company. But this morning, my apologies for that. Now, if the president, I believe the spokesperson should tell you if he's taking a break.
Oh, well, I think they're just trying to avoid all that now because, if he's taking a break, the mock question will be asked whether, he hasn't done even a year and he's already taking a break. So, so they'll rather not say anything. And then when he's about to fully return, then they'll release a statement. But I hope he's going to be back before the first. He will be very, I'm not too sure if the president will be spending the first term of his tenure outside when the independent is just this weekend. And today's Thursday, so that means in less than 72 hours, the president should return. And if he's going to return, he has to return on time. That means whatever he's doing, he has to leave France on Saturday. So we might get probably a statement tomorrow from Ajuri Ngelale.
Listeners will be having that statement tomorrow, God willing, and we'll be seeing Mr. Lai because his face, lovely as he is. I'm the only person seeing him this morning. It's unfortunate that you can see him as well. Bayomi, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful update.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll catch up later.
Bye for now. Well, that's far I can go. I got other things to do. We'll be back later with more programs. But for now, enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy the rest of your time. Nigeria will not happen to any one of us. Bye for now.